Hi, everybody. My name is John Fischer. Welcome to InvestorLead.com. I want to talk about accredited investor leads. So really, that's what we do at SalesLeads.tv, what we do at InvestorLead. By the way, InvestorLead.com happens to be one of my 35 websites. So yeah, I've got a big network of websites, and I've bought a lot of the important keywords, and that's why I do the great job I do. And of course, very challenging keeping your websites going. But we had a thing there with COVID, where things slowed down, and I really didn't care about what my websites looked like because there was nobody going to them anyway. And then I had a couple of people that weren't performing with, hello. I mean, it's just so hard to find good people. And I finally busted a move and found some people. I would have never expected it. And wow, I got a couple of really good people that are kicking ass right now. And I saw how well she was doing, and I asked her to go ahead and finally, InvestorLead.com is gonna. It's always been the stepchild. It was just like abused, never been taken care of, just terrible. And I've always begged, what the hell? Why can't I ever get this website to bust a move? I mean, it's such a great URL, InvestorLead.com. My God, and just for that, the name alone, you should be on page one. And so this week I'm killing myself. You hear me coughing and you hear my dry throat. I'm really focused on doing a lot of videos. By the way, I did a sales series of old school, and because I always bitch about the new salesman and about whatever happened to sales. And Trump, as you can tell, I'm a Trump guy. By the way, you get one of those, you get two of those hats for every $5,000 you spend. These just came out today. I wanted in midnight blue. There's Trump, unburdened. You know what happens. If that bitch would have been our president, we would have been in trouble. MAGA. And of course, I knew, I'm a clairvoyant. I really am. I've seen the future so many times. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm not throwing this t-shirt away. He's going to become president one more time before I die. And sure enough, this is like my favorite t-shirt. Matter of fact, I think I'm going to reprint it and make them. I'm in the t-shirt and the jacket and hat business. And I got a guy that makes some real quality stuff. So if you ever need that kind of stuff, let me know. I can take care of it. So let's talk about Accredited Investor Leads. Accredited Investor Leads. By the way, I own AccreditedInvestorLeads.com. Accredited investors, according to the SEC, are people that make $200,000 a year or $300,000 combined, have $1 million net worth, not including their home, experience in managing their personal portfolio, and the broker who's vetting them asks them if, ask them if $50,000 is a comfortable entry level for a first-time investment. Is it risk capital, and is it liquid? That's really important stuff, especially if you're disqualifying your prospect before. Oh, that's right. You guys don't disqualify. Only I do. You guys are qualifying your people before you send them anything. And then he sends them a private placement memorandum. So that's a big difference from the stuff you're gonna buy from Info USA, modeled information, 7-cent leads. I love the guys that pay 7 cents a lead. You're not my kind of customer, so I'm not worried about it. And shame on you if you think you can spend $350 to raise $1 million. I mean, shame on you. Anyway, so we go with these accredited investor leads, and if you're doing a private placement, specifically a Reg D 506C, which they have to be accredited, probably 95-98% of what I give you is there, because you're going to have to verify. You can't take my word for it. And I'm going to bring you the best I can. But, in the last 4 years, people may have no longer been accredited. Number one. Number two, people lie. And, when we find out the guy's accredited, when whatever the method is that your lawyer has chosen to verify that that guy within the SEC guidelines is truly accredited, that's when we know. And if he's not accredited, I'll replace him. No problem. I mean, nothing is perfect. 5% of anything I sell you is not going to be right. I'll never be perfect, that's for sure. Disconnected numbers, I'll replace 2 for 1. You guys, back in the old days, I was selling leads at 50 cents a name for 2,000. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work because the silence call feature of the iPhone is knocking out half of the phone calls. They go straight to voicemail. And they're not picking up the phone. They think you're a telemarketer. And Android has the same thing. And, the days of the landlines are almost over, except for businesses. My big dogs, which is probably the #1 file, legendary, $250,000 minimum, oil and gas, biggest guy in the country, just passed away. and I got 10,000 of them, and I got them as far as 4 years ago, and as recently as less than 6 months ago, and legendary, all done in Bradstreet. You don't have to worry about the do not call, exempt, business to business, and I got to tell you something. Only problem with the big dogs is your salesman better be good, because let me tell you, a guy who's got $5 million in investable assets, close your eyes and try to imagine who those guys are, and then open your eyes, look at your salesman, then close your eyes again and say, yeah, right. This salesman's going to be able to have a real conversation with this guy and actually close him and ask him to send $250,000. Let's be realistic, guys. So if you've got B salespeople, or if you've got guys that you're just addicted to paying for a $500 draw a week just to have a full room, no, don't buy them. But if you've got that old school, used to be 20% of the brokers write 80% of the business, now it's 10%. I'm changing the rule. 10% of the brokers writing 80% of the business. The answer is yes. Other than that, my accredited investor leads are dynamite, and they work really well. I've got 3 files from the old days, the COVID days, and now in the last maybe 30 days, I've gotten 6 different files. All good, all really, really good stuff. So it's starting to wake up again. Unfortunately, I lost a lot of my private placement guys. There's a lot of new guys kicking tires right now, but I just can't wait till this economy gets roaring again, and like the good old days where everybody and their mother's going to be calling up and asking to buy leads. I could tell, I have the pulse of the nation, because I own that key word. I mean, I use private placement leads, accredited investors. So I know when someone goes to Google, DuckDuck, or Bing, I see it on my website. I see it on my cell phone. My cell phone has a feature where if you pop on my website, I see who you are and I've got your IP address. And in many cases, your phone number. So if you have any questions at all about doing business with your new favorite website, investorlead.com. By the way, I shot a series of old school sales from an old dog like me, and we're just posting it right now. So it's going to be a really good website. Don't give it to your guys that think they're hot shots, because they're going to, you can tell me about sales. And with all due respect to those guys, there's not many people out there that can teach me about sales, so I get that. But for your rookies, invaluable, and I'm telling you, you'll love it. So I would give them a homework assignment and say, hey, I want you to go to this website, and I want you to, there's 7 videos. I want each one, and then a homework assignment. I want you to give me some notes, and I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. I think the art of the old school, the old school closing is gone. And before I die, I better pass it on to somebody. So if you're one of my clients, it's the least I could do is at least refresh your memory, or maybe just teach it. Because a lot of people really weren't put through that kind of training that I was put through back in the late 70s and early 80s. That was like hardcore, old school sales, good stuff. Anyway, thank you for your time. If you have any questions, call me, 561-239-0364. You have a beautiful day, and God bless.